Mike, 4-2 win over Gloucester here this afternoon. How do you reflect on the performance from the boys today?
I'd say probably 75 minutes very good. I felt as though we lost control at the start of the second half, and they scored two good goals, to be honest, in both halves, which took the wind out of our sails a little bit. But all credit to the boys, how they changed the momentum, stuck to the basics, the fundamentals, and I think we created enough chances to win comfortably in the end. But it's a very difficult place, and they had good players which tested it on every area of our game, which is pleasing to come through and go back up the road with 3 points.
Yeah, and I suppose coming here at a couple of kind of grounds in the league, got an artificial pitch, I suppose necessarily means that it can be a little bit smoother than the grass sometimes, especially just after the winter. But I mean, does a surface like this play into your hands slightly sometimes?
I think it's 6-1 half dozen the other. I think they didn't want to put any water on, whether they've got the ability to or not, because it was quite dry. But yeah, a lot of our lads grew up on it and they enjoy training on it and play on it. So yeah, like you say, it's smooth, no bobbles, nothing to blame. But also, I think risk of injury increases a little bit. The load that goes through the joints. And obviously Gloucester are used to playing week in, week out on it, but I thought we handled every part of it, all the different elements of the game, and deserved winners.
Yeah, and you mentioned sort of starting the second half a little on the slow side. Obviously Gloucester came back into it, but then it wasn't too long. I think only a matter of a few sort of minutes or so before Greg Ollie had put you 3-2 back up. I mean, looking back at it, do you kind of focus on the slow start and why that is, or are you more looking at the positive of sort of fighting back as quickly as the boys did to retake control?
Ultimately, yeah, both. I think we're obviously going to dissect it every minute of it, and especially if we haven't got control of the game, we're going to try and find the reason and show the boys. But like you say, when you've got the squad we've got, that togetherness is credit to them, because you want to start every game, every half, coming out of the traps 100 miles an hour, but that's not reality. And reality is when you are finding it difficult and you're not getting the ricochets and picking up the second balls, that you've got to dig in and turn the tide, which they did, which, like I say, that energy, that togetherness, that backing each other up, I thought was evident today.
Yeah, and a lot of, on the defensive side, kind of getting out wide, having to deal with sort of set pieces, long throws, crosses into the box and that kind of thing. I mean, was that something that you knew you were going to be coming up against before kick-off?
Yeah, obviously he's a relatively new manager coming in here, and you can see his ideas, and they've got good players as well. So we knew they were going to have a plan, and overloading the wide areas to try and suck your fullback in, to get their fullback on the ball was one of them. And we knew we had to be strong in the middle in that second phase, which I thought we did on the whole. But like certain times, you've got to hold your hands up if there's good play. In the first half, our press was broken, but that happens. I'll never go away from being on that front foot and trying to stop it at source, which we've done well all season. But yeah, then you've got to defend the second phase, which maybe we might have been a little bit slow to get back in, but that's football.
Yeah, and your hand is Colin Malley, his first start today after coming off the bench last weekend. I mean, how do you feel he's fared today? Obviously coming into a team of lads who are flying and have been playing pretty much all season, for him to sort of come in, having been sort of just in 23s football recently and thrown into a game like that, really.
I thought he'd done really well. I think there's a few kind of areas that we need to continue working on in terms of the way our blueprint is and our ethos, but you see his ability. It was we've been seeing it in training for the last couple of weeks. He's got some ability, and his centre of gravity, the way he moves things, he goes past people, and he's an intelligent footballer. So he's come in, he's fitting well with the lads, and he's another good addition, which just creates more headaches for myself and Busty and Louis, but that's ultimately what we want.
And another win today obviously keeps the momentum going from in recent weeks. I imagine the mood within the boys must be pretty confident as ever, I suppose, at the moment.
Boston away, that's the focus now. So the mood better, get our mind on making sure we're ready and we're prepped. It's another long journey, and they're a big club. Hopefully the pitch and the stadium, but for us it's just now focus on how we can improve and our prep for a massive game next week.